Hi everyone, I'm Pat Cosentino, Superintendent of Region 12 Schools. We're here today with 4 of our smartest students from Chippewa, all taking AP Computer Science, starting a robotics club after school. So we're going to ask them some questions and we're going to hear about it, and I'm hoping the young viewers out there will get excited so when they get to Chippewa, they can do the same kind of things. So first we'll start with Brian. Everybody introduce yourselves.
All right, hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Caroline.
David.
I'm Ryan.
Excellent. So we're going to start with, tell us how the FTC competition works. Okay, and tell us what FTC is so that people have an idea.
All right, so FTC stands for First Tech Challenge. It's kind of our division of the robotics. It's kind of a whole organization, and that's our division. That's what we compete in.
Excellent. And when do you practice?
Well, we would practice once a week.
Okay.
When we meet on Thursdays.
Okay.
We built a field for the robot.
Excellent.
We put obstacles down. We kind of simulate what we'd be competing.
Okay. Who is your advisor?
Mrs. Gambino.
Okay, great. She's also the virtual high school teacher, correct?
Yeah.
So she also helps you with AP Computer Science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before the show started, we were talking about, let's talk just for a second about virtual high school and then about this course in particular. So talk a little bit about virtual high school. What do you like about it? Anybody?
Well, virtual high school is nice because it opens up classes that, because we're such a small community and such a small region, not really exceeding a substantial amount of people.
Sure.
It opens up classes which we would never be able to take just because we don't have the numbers to supply the
Exactly.
classes. So, taking, AP Computer Science is really nice because I know that I want to go into like a software engineering field or computer
Excellent.
science field,
Mm-hmm.
and getting a jump start before college in my junior year of high school is really beneficial to me.
Great. Wonderful.
That said, it is really, really challenging, but it's good to be exposed to this stuff because I never would be in high school. I hear so
Sure.
much about kids that come from smaller public schools and they go to college for engineering or something, and then everybody knows programming but them.
Uh-huh.
It's really challenging, but I'm glad to be exposed to it. Yeah.
Excellent. And Mrs. Gambino's a big help because she can teach computer science, right? I know, David, you work with her a lot, am I right?
Yeah, I do work with her a lot. But unlike these guys, I'm taking it by myself.
Okay.
So it's kind of a little bit harder for me. Mrs. Gambino is helping me a lot with some of the projects, but I do sometimes look online, and that kind of helps a little bit as well.
Good. Excellent. Anybody taking any other classes on VHS? One was enough.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. This is probably one of the toughest ones that they offer. So great, that's excellent. Okay, so tell us, when we start to think about the competition, what's the most fun part getting ready for the competition?
Probably, if you see, we have, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
pick
I
it up.
Pick it up. There's this little camera mount. This is an iPhone-sized mount, and we put an iPhone on it, and we FaceTime someone's iPhone, and we put it in here. So it faces out, like the
Okay.
camera's facing out here.
Sure.
So you can see. So if you put an iPhone in here and you drive it around like the library or something, you can see where it's going from like I could drive it into that room and out into the hallway if it had an iPhone on it because I could see where it was going. It's pretty
Wow,
fun.
that is so cool.
So we drove it around
Excellent.
after school a couple times.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, I am totally not knowledgeable about this subject at all, so, please excuse my ignorance. So start and tell us about the steps to get to a robot just from metal and wires and stuff, okay? Because,
Really, it starts with this white brick that you see here, the NXT.
okay,
That's like
You can
the
pick it up
core.
if you want, to
Yeah.
show people.
It's the brain to the entire robot, really.
okay,
So this is where, it's this guy right here. This is
Uh-huh.
where all the code is stored, where we write the code on the computer and we import it to this brick. And then
Okay.
that code is then sent, through all the systems into the motor controls and the battery and,
okay.
Yeah, I sort of did all the wiring. So what happens is the battery is wired into this, which controls the motors, and that just goes directly into these two motors. So all the code says is that if you push this button on the joystick, this motor turns. If you push this button, this motor turns.
Okay.
So you connect the brain that tells it to turn the motor when you hit the buttons into this. This just gives it wireless control.
Okay,
Here.
okay.
This just controls the motors, and this gives everything power.
Wow.
There's the button.
Okay, yeah. Wow. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. You know, if my DVR goes out, I try to jiggle wires and then I just give up and I call somebody. What were the biggest challenges getting ready? When was the challenge, the competition?
It was last
2 weeks,
Saturday,
right?
right?
It was last Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay, so how did we do?
Not great. I mean, we're all sort of rookies.
Uh-huh.
Me and David were on the team last year, but
Okay.
We didn't exactly
well,
learn a
due
lot.
to several factors, it was hard to sort of figure out what was going on, mostly like leadership issues.
That's
so
fine.
This is all like our first real year, so I think we learned a lot from it.
Well, that's what's important. But tell us, what did you have to overcome? What were the biggest challenges?
Samantha module, I think.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
say that again. Repeat that.
Yeah. The Samantha module.
That's this wireless
Yeah,
brick
it's the
looking
wireless
thing.
unit.
Okay.
That's totally done through FTC program, and it has nothing to do like affiliated with any of the other parts that we put on the robot.
Okay.
Which made it especially challenging because it's some foreign program that none of us had really seen before, and like a foreign configuration that we had no idea how it worked. And so that was very troublesome when we were trying to test the robot wirelessly because it just did not want to connect nicely.
Yeah, we had a hard time getting it to connect.
Sure. Oh my gosh. So, Caroline, you were the leader, right? So talk
Yes.
about what it was like to be the leader.
Well, after last year, I just knew the most, but that didn't mean that I knew that much, so I sort of felt like I was learning alongside everybody else, which made it kind of hard to lead because I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing.
Okay.
We had our mentor, Mr. Fitch, who helped so much. He's from Lockheed Martin. He comes in and helps us out. They sponsor us.
That's wonderful.
So he knew a lot about it. He helped us out a lot, sort of deciding what we wanted to do with how to score points and stuff like that. So I guess the biggest challenge with leading the team was that I had to learn how it all worked together too. So, I mean, I learned a whole lot. I think everybody else learned a whole lot figuring it out too, but not being entirely sure what to do next was hard to be a leader.
Okay. Yeah, well, you know, I think when I see this whole problem and the whole learning experience, it really is very aligned to what we're teaching and what you're going to do in college, where you're solving problems where there are no right answers, right? And no one's giving you step-by-step instructions on how to do it, and that's what makes it challenging. So talk about the competition a little bit. Anybody learn anything there? Did you see anything that, you know, was an aha moment or a light bulb went off?
Seeing the other robots that were brought there was a little bit humbling.
Okay.
Because people had these robots which were like, you know, 1.5 feet tall and 1.5 feet wide, and you know they were huge, and they had like 6 different ways to score points. And then we had our little, you know, 18 by 18 by like 4 inches high robot, you know, and you know they had these monstrosities which would unfold and become huge, and you know get like 10 feet big.
Like a transformer kind
Yeah.
of thing. I
Yeah,
can just
basically.
imagine.
I mean, and that's sort of what I took most from the competition is like, we went simple, but we went too simple.
Okay.
Was our main issue. And like seeing, you know, we were pretty much sized up by all the other robots, you know, like they were huge and massive and kind of intimidating, and here we are, 7745, our team number.
The announcer called us cute though.
Okay, there you go. Cute is always good. Cute is good. But we're just beginning. A lot of schools have been doing this for many, many years.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of the competition was you can tell how experienced a team is by their team number. So if you get a team, we're in the late 7,000s, early 8,000s. Those are the new teams that started this year. So when we would get paired up with like team 46, it'd be like, oh, this is gonna be easy. We got paired up with like team 8112 or something like that.
Okay.
So they had a robot that was sort of similar to ours. They didn't really know what they were doing. We didn't do so well in that match, but
No.
it was really fun. We liked them a lot. And
Okay.
made some friends, and I
Good.
think we know what we're gonna like. I think both of us learned a lot.
You know, it's interesting, as you say that, made some friends. you live in such a different world that I lived in, okay? And I'm 54. And even people who are in their 40s and maybe even their 30s, you know, when you say friends, you literally can meet people at these competitions and you can then be in touch with them for the rest of your life. They can be on Facebook. You can, you know, have connections with them, and really, you know, you can meet them up in colleges and different, you know, events and competitions. So it really is. It's like minds really being able to work together. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I actually have a story about that.
Yeah.
I did a summer program at Brown University last summer.
Okay.
And one of the best friends that I made in my like engineering course, he's this cute little kid. He's like 15, but he knew like all this crazy stuff about computers, spoke fluent Chinese, and he was the captain of like the world championship FTC team, and he like offered to like, he gave me so much advice. He was like, do this, do this, do this. We post all these videos to help you learn about what to do. And we're still friends on Facebook, and we still talk sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
it's wonderful. I think it's great. So talk about what does it mean to be a good alliance team at the competition? And were you or you not? Anybody?
Yeah, we were the alliance partner sort of that nobody really wanted to be paired with. I mean, one thing we were good at though is we were kind of assigned to defense, and
Okay.
basically the way the game was designed is there were blocks put into corners, and they were equidistant from each other.
Right.
And you could start your robot anywhere on your side of the field, and there was like a dividing line, and it needed to be touching the wall.
Okay.
So one thing that we were assigned to multiple times was basically blockading the enemy, you know, just because they get a penalty if they ram into you and keep going.
Okay.
So basically what we would do is we would just pull in front of them, and as they tried to go in, and then pull back, you know, and keep them from getting to the blocks and keep them from scoring points while our teammate went and got the points.
Okay.
And it worked for half of one round until our alliance partner broke down. And then that's how we inevitably lost. But
That
I mean,
happened a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That also happened a lot. Is
Like
our
our
alliance
alliance
members
partners.
would break down too.
What does that mean, our alliance part break? Their machine didn't work anymore, their robot?
Yeah.
Yeah, the essential sort of concept is 2 red teams, 2 blue teams, and their robots try and score more points than the other robots.
Okay.
So if you're red 1, this guy's red 2, you're an alliance together.
Okay.
So you're trying to score points together, basically.
Sure. Okay. Great. Well, you know what? Every year it gets better. How many people do we have on the team? Is it, you know, grade 6 to 12? Is it 9 to 12? Do you
9 to
know?
12.
It's
9
9 to 12?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I know there's a middle school team too that's
Yeah.
starting, right?
They have like they do a different league than us. They
Okay.
do like a Lego league or something.
Okay.
It's I think it's like RTC or something like
Okay.
that. No.
Which is still it's all under the same kind of
Umbrella.
Yeah, and
First.
we're in like the middle division, and there's one that's for younger kids. It's like the Lego division. There's our division, which is like high school, and then there's the higher division, which is like really serious, huge robots, which
Sure.
are like feet by feet wide instead of
Right,
feet
right,
foot and a
right.
half.
Like powered by diesel or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
FRC?
Yeah, the FRC.
Those are too expensive for us, though. Those are like $10,000
Oh,
a year.
okay,
Yeah.
wow. Maybe when you
go
get to
like 1,000.
colleges, you never know. I'm sure
Yeah.
that they have some of those there. Wow. So tell me, what advice would you give for students out there who maybe are thinking about, this looks cool, it looks fun, you know, it's something I want to get involved in?
Probably to join the team, and then don't be afraid to get involved.
Good.
Because we have a couple freshmen on the team that joined it because they like computers, and then they just sort of sit off to the side. But we also have a couple freshmen who really contributed a lot of ideas.
Right,
and,
right,
really
right.
get involved and voice up and ask questions, and I think that they're the ones that are learning a lot from it.
Good, that's great. That's great. And tell me, 2 of you will be here next year as juniors, Brian and Ryan. Any plans for next year? What are you thinking about now to get better?
We were thinking about like actually making a plan for our robot.
Okay, that's always
We
good.
just kind of threw it together. I mean,
Okay.
It wasn't really
Okay.
planned at all, but yeah, we wanted to make a plan. We wanted to do, you know, like due dates for ourselves, kind of, you
Okay.
know, like have deadlines.
Sure. Organization is always a
Yep.
good thing. Yep.
Team roles, yeah.
Okay,
stuff
team
like that.
roles, good.
Yeah, and
Sure.
our mindset at the beginning of the year was to make something simple that would kind of get the job done, but we went too simple. So,
Okay.
and I realized that, you know, it was kind of a harsh reality at the competition when we were getting, you know, kind of slaughtered a little bit
Sure,
by the
sure.
other robots who could do, you know, if not 4 times as many things as us, maybe 5 times.
Sure.
Because we made our robot to push blocks, and we tried doing some other things, such as like there was an end game thing where there was a bar across the middle of the field, and you had to hoist yourself up and lift your robot up onto that bar.
Wow.
And we tried doing that, but we ended up burning out our motors trying it.
Okay.
So we ended up taking those off. And we also designed a way to spin. There was a flag that you had to spin. It was made out of PVC pipe, and the flag would go up, and that would score you points. We also tried making something like that, but that just really never got finished, and the idea was never really executed.
Yeah, we went kind of
So-
close to the competition. Like this whole thing, all the wiring stuff basically got built like 2 or 3 weeks before the competition. So
Okay.
Yeah.
the stuff we were trying out was like really last minute.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So, I mean, for next year, we should. I'm definitely going to try and focus on being less simplistic.
Okay,
You know,
good.
You know, push the boundaries. I mean, because with that, you run the risk of breaking your robot. But our robot didn't break, and we weren't scoring enough points ultimately in the
Okay.
end. So,
Okay.
you know, less simplistic is sometimes better.
Sure. You know, it's interesting as you all speaking, especially Brian, something you said, it's really about life's lessons. And, you know, I'm sure Mrs. Gambino could have said to you, okay, we need to do this and this and this and this. We need to make a plan. We need to have team leaders. We need to have, you know, a organizational chart and everything. But I'm sure she didn't do that. That's not really her style. Her style is really get in there, figure it out. But now you have learned that through experience. You're learning that, you know what, maybe being too simple isn't good through experience. So that's just a more meaningful life lesson that you can not only apply to this, but to other things. So that's great to sit here as an educator. It's like, wow, that's what we want. We want kids, students, young adults to figure it out for themselves and you know, push the envelope and try new things and take risks. But also every time you do that, learn from them so that the next time you're more successful. So that's wonderful. Anything else you want to say about the competition or robotics, or you want to make a sales pitch to people out there to get involved, or?
For sure, join it. Give it a shot. If you don't like it, then you don't have to come back next year. You know, it's a great learning experience, and there's nothing to really lose from it. It's only benefit.
And
It's
if you
really
do
fun.
join it, like, don't be afraid to get into it. Even if you don't know what's going on, you can make suggestions or ask people how things work, and then next year you'll be even better.
Yeah. What did you want to say?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything.
I thought you wanted to say it was fun.
I thought. Oh,
You said it,
it's
but
fun.
I don't know if people heard it. You said it. Okay, good.
It is fun. Be sure to do the journal.
Oh.
If you do it, you have to take a journal, like you know, write what you did for the day.
Oh, okay.
You got to do what you want to do for the next day. You know, take
Okay.
pictures, diagrams, stuff like that.
Okay.
We didn't really do like a big in-depth journal. We just kind of did one that just kind of skimmed what we did.
Okay.
But yeah, next year we'd like to
Sure.
take the actual journal. You know,
Absolutely.
the one that's expected of us.
Because
So-
then you're reflecting on what you're doing.
Mhm.
Again, excellent, great, wonderful. Well, I know, David, did you want to say anything?
If you're not that big of an idea person, or like you don't want to do design, you could always do programming.
Uh-huh, there you
Yeah,
go.
And that's always really helpful because this year we only had me, Brian, Seb, and I think Matt. No, who was the freshman?
Is it Josh?
Joshua.
Josh, yeah.
For programmers.
Okay.
So
There's a lot of different jobs that you can do in this
Yeah.
club. Excellent, good, wonderful. Okay, well, before we end, I always like when we have seniors on the set to tell us, you know, you're gonna be leaving Chapag soon. I'm assuming you're both going to college, so we'll start with you, Caroline. What are your plans?
I did early decision and early action at all my top schools, so I already know where I'm going and where I got in. I got accepted at Carnegie Mellon, which is like best computer science school anywhere, and MIT, which is like also the best computer science school anywhere, so I'm pretty pleased. And I'll be going to Carnegie Mellon next year.
That's wonderful. Do you know what you want to major in?
Yeah, I want to do something with computer science, but I think I want to major in mechanical or materials engineering.
That's wonderful. Good for you.
Thank you.
David?
I applied regular decision, so I don't know which colleges I'm accepted for, but I did apply to Champlain College, which is a private school in Vermont, and Sacred Heart, which is in Fairfield. I plan on majoring in game design and minoring in game programming.
Oh, it's wonderful. That's great. Excellent. Are any of you athletes at all? Are you on any of the teams, swim teams or anything? Yeah? Go ahead. Ryan?
I'm on the tennis team.
Okay.
I'm gonna be captaining this year.
Great. So you'll be starting soon, right after the
yeah.
snow thaws?
Yeah, as soon as the snow is gone, we'll go out and start.
Maybe about May 15th at the rate we're going?
Yeah. Hopefully a little bit sooner.
Yes, good, great. David?
I'm on the swim team right now.
Nice.
We're going at the Berkshire League, and I'm also going for states.
Great. Swim team did very well this year, correct?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, good. Good luck. Caroline, any athletics, music, anything?
Nope, not really.
No?
I do theater. Theater and robotics eat up most of my time.
That's wonderful. And Brian?
I'm also on the tennis team.
Okay.
I'm obviously not as I'm not as good as Ryan. Ryan's pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, I plan to. I practiced over the summer
Good.
and the winter. I got better.
Good.
I'd like to do better.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. The reason I ask that is because, everyone should be involved. You don't have to be great at what you're doing. You should be involved. You voice up, as you said. I love that. Be in either a sport or music or the arts or robotics or something to be involved, because that's really important. It's important for your self-esteem. It's important for your college applications. It's just important. You get to know people, socialize, interact, so it's wonderful. Well, this was great. I couldn't make this year's competition. I will try next year. Honestly, I'm no help. I really don't know how to even figure it out, but I am amazed at the talent that is able to do it. So congratulations. I think just Chapag competing is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So keep up the great work. Good luck to you two in college, and we still have a couple of months, right? February, March, April, May, June. 5 more months of school. So enjoy your last months at Chapag. Enjoy your junior and senior year. We'll see you soon. I am Pat Cosentino. This is Region 12. These are our fabulous, fabulous superstar Chapag students. Thank you for watching, and remember to practice an attitude of gratitude, everyone.